Hi folks, this is Vicki from patternprincess.com. Today I wanted to show you how to work the stitches for this twisted headband I'm working on. It's worked in a long rectangle, and as you can see, one side looks the same as the other side. This is going to be a twisted one, so I'm going to be joining this, and I will have all the instructions for this on the website for you for free. This yarn that I've used, I had just a little bit left over from another project that I worked. It's a Yarn Bee Soft Secret, and it's in honey. And I've used a size I hook on this. This is a medium weight yarn. And so I'm just going to show you the stitches to this. They're really easy. It's just a single crochet stitch in the back loop. So we're going to get going here. I'm just going to do a really small swatch for you here to get started. We'll get our slip knot going and our loop on our hook. There we go. And so I don't know, I'll just crochet like maybe 10. How's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, for the very first row, you can either work in the back loop, the back ridge, or in this top loop here. I like on the headband here, I wanted the first row to look just as nice as the end row. So I turned mine over and I worked in this back hump. There's like a back hump right here. Okay. So we're going to skip the first stitch from the hook, and we're going to go work in that second chain from the hook. And I'm going to work in this back hump. Again, if you prefer, you can work right in this loop here. But I'm going to work in the back hump here, and I'm going to do a single crochet. So I yarned over, brought the yarn through, and then bring the yarn through 2 loops. Go through that hump, yarn over, bring it through the loop, yarn over, and go through 2 loops. That's our second single crochet. And I'm just going to continue to work this all the way across. I'm going to work in that back hump, because if you work in the other one, it tends to pull and it'll leave just a slight little gap. And when you're wearing something like a headband, it'll probably be quite noticeable. So that's why I chose to work in this back hump. And actually, it's not a bad way to start a lot of your crochet projects that have chains with a beginning stitch like this. And then I have one more here. If you can see, there's one more right here. Okay, and this is how it looks so far. Okay, does that look nice? There's no stitches pulling out. Here's the chains on the bottom. Here's my chains on the top, so it looks quite the same, right? And that's why I worked in that back hump. So now here's the pattern. The rest of the headband. I'm going to chain 1, which does not count as anything. And I'm going to work in the back loop only. So I'm going to do a single crochet in the back loop, just like we did the other single crochet, but just in the back loop only. So we put the hook through, yarn over, bring it through, and then bring it through 2 loops. So you insert the hook, yarn over, bring it through, insert the hook, or I should say yarn over and bring it through 2 loops. And we do this all the way across. It's just that simple. Except I got this itty bitty swatch here I'm doing for you that's twisting on me. Otherwise, this is how you work it. And we just work all the way across. Okay. We have this one here. And then this here, this little lump that looks like nothing here, this is your last stitch that you put it in. Right here, because the one that you skipped over is down here. Okay, so that would have been the top chain. So now we turn it. This is how it's looking so far. You can see that little bit of a ridge starting to take place. My yarn is, I got it untwisted here, so I got a little bit more yarn to work with. Okay, here we go. Whoops. And we're going to do our chain 1, and then we're going to work in that back loop with our single crochets all the way back across. And what this creates is you have a ridge on every other side. And you're just working single crochet stitches, and they're just placed in the back loop instead of both loops. And it creates a lovely texture. And this yarn that I'm using is really soft. It's a little bit shiny, you can probably tell. And then you got to make sure that you get this very last one all the time, right here. You'll get used to where you have to look for your stitches. Then you look on your sides here and you can see that it's an even. As you crochet, you'll see it's even and straight. And there's a little ridge on this side, and if we turn it over, there's a little ridge on that side. So the longer we go, the more ridges we'll have, all right? So that's how you work the stitches to this. I'm going to get my yarn needle. And now let's make this into a twisted headband. And it's really quite simple to do. You just fold one in half and you tuck the other side in and fold it in half. Okay, I got my yarn needle threaded. I got my 2 halves right here. Okay, and we're just going to fold it. So this one we're going to fold in half right here, meet your ends, all right? And this one we're going to fold in half. But what we're going to do is fold it inside of each other. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Just fold it, and I just kind of work them so that they're even. And I'm making sure I'm not twisting this, right? That's not twisted. These are just folded in half. That's all that they are, and they're pretty even, I think. This could be maybe over a little bit more. See that? Okay, and I make sure that I have my yarn end on the outside here. And so I could actually bring that over a little bit more. There we go. And now what I'm going to do is just start working through. And I'm going to go across this way sewing, and then I'm going to come back one. Not everybody does that, but I just like that little bit of extra security that it's all going to stay together. And then I'll weave in my yarn end, and I will be done with this. And this was a great way to use up yarn I had left over. I had made a cowl. You'll see a cowl on the website with this same yarn, and it was such a pretty yarn. And I just had a little bit left. I thought, gosh, what am I going to make with this? And I was making it while my grandson was sleeping. So I had a little project I could bring over to my daughter's house and work. So I'm going to just continue working this back and forth. And I'm going to show, before I do that second side, before I come back down, I'm going to show you how it looks. So I won't weave in my yarn end until I'm done. But I just want to quickly get to the other side for you here. And all I'm doing is just sticking my yarn hook through all of the layers. There we go. A couple more, and then I can show you how it looks. There we go. And I'm just making sure I have all of my ends up and even on this end here too. It'll just lay a lot nicer and come together nicer. You won't have any puckers or loose spots. Okay, so I'm just going to hold this for now, so I'll finish it off camera. But now when we turn this inside out, that's how it looks, and it looks twisted. And this one is done. There we go. We have a twisted headband that I've made out of leftover scrap yarn. I hope that you give this pattern a try, and it's going to be free on the website, so make sure you stop by. Thanks for watching. Take care.